This is the Iron Trader. It is Thursday morning. So, as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. Now, remember, on natural gas, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30, and then on Friday at 1 o'clock, the rig count will be out for both crude and natty gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, you can see here, this big ass red candle took out how many days? Okay, so what we're looking for here, obviously, is that 21 SMA, which is that 8401, and then we're looking at the top of this at 8321, and then we had 8312. Okay, so you can see obviously where that went below, and it closed below that. Okay, so today what do we have? We have a gap down. So we want to look to the bottom of this candle, that's 82.55. And then we want to look at today's, that's 82.44. So we have a gap and a fill going on right here, okay? And then what we're looking for here for support is this is going to be your key level. It's going to be this 50 SMA at 80.74. We have your price channel here at 80.30, and then you have your 200-day at 79.72. Okay, so this is all going to be really, really good support levels here going on down here for today. Now, this week here we had this really nice premium going on here where they're talking about the attacks and everything. So last Friday we had this topping tail, and then we had this bottoming tail. Well, then she rolled right over. But when you look at this 8 SMA, see when that 8 SMA rolls over, see how when you came down below, okay, we could not get above. See, even though you popped above, you couldn't close above. That's the key. And then yesterday she's held it. So now this is going to become very, very critical here to get back above. Now, I'm not saying it can't get back above that, because it very well can, okay, just like what we had here, okay? So we had a big run-up, similar situation, came all the way down, and then we put a bottoming tail here, and then she ran up and blew up again right above. See, while that 8 SMA rolled over, that 21, and then it curled right back up here. But again, this is what we're going to be looking for, is some kind of a bottoming tail candle, okay, like this, okay? You just don't want to go there and buy random. We want to buy a bottoming tail candle situation, okay? So this is what we're going to be looking for. Now, here's what we have. This is going to be very key. So on the upside here, we obviously want to watch that 82.44, and you want to watch that 82.55. There's your gap in your fill. That's going to be very key. But in the meantime, what you also want to do is you want to look to the bottom of this candle. Okay, that's 81.52. That's going to be your next resistance level. And then we can just follow the candles up here. You have 82.36, and then we have 82.48 here before we start getting into the gaps. Okay, now again, then we just do the reverse. So then what we're going to be looking for is the top there on this candle. You're looking for 82.65. You have 83.12, 83.21. Okay, and then you just keep working yourself right on up here. Okay, so you look at the low of that, that's 83.85, and then we have your 21 day. So as this was support levels, now all these candles here become resistant levels. Now, but your key is going to be the gap, the fill, this 21 SMA at 84.02, and that 8 SMA at 84.74. Now, if this 8 SMA rolls over here, that's going to be very, very tough, because now you're going to be fighting it the whole way. So when we look here like on a weekly chart, I'll show you what happens, okay, when that 8-day rolls over. Then you're just fighting that price level all the way into it until you can get back above. Now, I pointed out here earlier in the week that this was a possible, okay, a bull flag, but then yesterday I say once you start getting lower than too low, it's lower than this, and now we took out that bottom, that bull flag long negated. Okay, that negated there yesterday, so that's not even a factor. Now, what we have to do by the end of the week is you want to close back above this 8 SMA, 82.04, and we want to go 82.33. We need to close back above here. Okay, so as of right now, I took a long on UCO. Okay, I'm in at 33.08. Okay, on UCO. Okay, because I'm looking at this 50 SMA here, and as long as that holds, I'm looking for a scalp. Now, I sold my SEO right here at 15.95. Okay, so I'm out of the SEO from yesterday, and I'm into that UCO at 33.08. Okay, so I'm going to see how this is all going to shake out. Now, obviously, if it can go, then if it loses that 50, I'll get stopped out. I'll put a stop in here, and then I'll just be out of the trade. So on the bottom here, just watch this key 50-day, watch this price channel, That's that 80-30, okay, coming right across here. And then we want to watch that key 200-day here at 79.72. Now, RSI coming right off here. This, notice that green closed below that red. Now, it doesn't mean something right away, but this took a turn and it looked like it could have rolled up, but she came right on down here when we had this big ass red candle going on here. But see, when that 8 SMA here, that's how important that 8 simple moving averages is when that rolls over and you can't get above it. That tells you got to take a shorty. That's why I held the short there overnight there on the SCO, because you can see when you get a red candle like this and you're pretty much closing at the bottom, next day she's going to be lower. Okay, so when I was watching those futures at night there, I said, no, I'm just going to hang right onto it, because you could see when you gap down and you made a lower low that she was going to go there and retest this key level here. Okay, so now again, by tomorrow, we want to be back up above that 82.33. You want to be back above that 82.03 here. Other than that, you could come lower all the way down to that 79 level here, and then we have 78.43 all the way down to that 50-day. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just like to point things out just in case. So upside today, watch that key 82.44. Watch this 80. The low on this here is 82.55. Your gap and your fill, and then your key levels here are your 84.02, and then we have your 8-day above that. But again, always follow the candles to the left, because we don't know exactly. This will be your resistant levels, okay? That 81.52 here, and then we have your 82.48, and then we come right over here. That 83.12 and that 83.21 are going to provide big time resistance also, as if it moves up. Now, a lot of times what this will do is come right on up here, and then it wants to move and retrace all the way back, just like what it does here. Even though you're falling off, it wants to come back and retrace that 21 and that 8-day simple moving average here. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. But remember, don't have any kind of opinion here. It's a two-way trade. So let's just see how this is all going to shake out here. Okay, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, here we have your natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Okay, so what we're looking here, not looking too bad. I pointed out this 8 SMA here. Okay, so this is very, very key. Right now, natural gas real-time price is 1.756. So you're just above that. That's what you really need to hold by Friday. Okay, so now remember, the contract roll is coming up here on Sunday, so it's going to be probably pretty volatile, and we should get a gap up like we had here. Okay, I would imagine. So yesterday at midday trading, I posted the natural gas futures for you. So if you want to take a look at that, it's right on there. All the months going forward, exactly what the price is. Now, we really need to hold this key level here. If not, this is what you end up getting, is like I pointed out, that 8-day, like on the crude oil, when you get below that 8 SMA, she's just very, very tough until you can get back above here. But we got to see how this is all going to shake out here now. Now, this is trying to work it here. The green trying to get above your red, that would show bullet, like good momentum there to the upside. And that's what we're looking for if you're long. Okay, so right now, you got the UNG here and you got the KOLD here. They're sitting here pretty flat as of right now, but we got to see how this is going to shake out. So here's what we got here. Now, when we look at this chart, you say, okay, it's kind of a flat line. But what we do have is a low, a higher low, and then a higher low kind of a situation. Now we got a couple of green candles. The key is going to be right here. You can see everything is just jammed right up here. Okay, so you got 1.762. 1.763, 1.768. Everything is just jammed right up. You have to get above this 1.768. That's the highest one. If you can get above that, then we'll come right to the top of that candle. That's that 1.80, okay? And then we'll come up here. That's 1.85. Then you have 1.89, 1.92, and then we have 1.943. That is your retest. Now, when that contract rolled, this is what we got. So you got that big gap up, and then we have rallied up here pretty nicely. So let's just see here if we can do. Now, again, what we're getting here is we're getting these 2 red candles and then 3 greens. See, 2 red candles, 3 greens. 2 red candles. We didn't get the 3 greens here, but we have an indecision. This was on a Friday situation. But now we got those 2 red candles here again. And now let's just see if we can get some, more greens going here. But you got to get above all this key level. If you just call it 1.76, 1.77 is really what we need to get and close above. If you can, then we have nice targets here, but really your big target is going to be that 1.943. That's going to be your retest. After that, we can climb right on up here, 1.95, 1.98, and then that's the target you're looking for, is that 2.0. Okay, so we got to see how this is all going to shake out here through the day. So no, don't have no opinion, but again, if you can close above these key simple moving averages, then you want to jump in long, because then I think you're going to beat that retest right there at 1.943. Very, very easy. But again, we got to see how this is all going to shake out. So let's take a look here on an hourly and a 4-hour. Okay, hourly chart. Now, my last video of the day yesterday, I posted right here that we had this, you were coming off here, but then what we did is you put in a low of 1.64, but then we put in this nice higher low here, okay? So this is what we were looking for, okay? So this is that double bottom situation, okay? That's what you always want to watch as a reversal, okay? So as you're selling down, see, it just couldn't hold this the previous day. And then it was going sideways. It does have that big spike up here. But what I was kind of wondering, is it going to be the same thing as this? And then sell right on down. But no, it sold down here, but then it held, made a higher low, which is always good. And now she's kind of rally up. So what you want to do is watch that price channel. That's that 1.76. And see, here's that 1.78. Now, all these are at the same charts, okay? That 1.6, 1.7, 1.78 level. You got to clear all that here. Then we can start coming up here to your 1.80. Once you can clear that, then we can just ratchet right on up here very, very nicely. But I just always want to show you here, this is the kind of patterns you want to look for, is when you see those double bottoms. That's always a very, very good scenario after you get these sell-offs here as she's ratcheting down. Now we have to come up here to see what we can do. And then we want to come right up here to this candle. This is that 1.79, which lines up here very, very nicely. This is what you want to get back above all this noise, basically, and then we can start retesting some of these key levels up here, okay? And maybe even possibly that 1.943. So when we look at the 4-hour chart, it's the same thing. Now, you came down nicely here, it came 1.64, and we filled that gap in there, okay? So again, if that is lost here, then we want to look to the bottom of that candle, that's 1.60, and then 1.589, okay? So always have multiple charts, your hourly, your 4-hour, anything that'll give you some kind of an edge to look at here, okay? So realistically, you're holding this here very, very nicely, okay, all the way through, okay? So that was nice. So when this started off here, we had a really nice low, higher low, higher low, same with higher highs. That was very nice. But once you start losing those, then you just have to keep going to the left of the chart here to see exactly where she's going to stop. And as look at that one point, that gap fill, I said, as long as we can fill that gap, that would be good. But now, see, we're running right into that same scenario here. All that 1.76 to 1.7 level here. You got to clear all that, clear this, and then we can start ratcheting all the way on up here, you know, till we get all the way, you know, to the top here at that 1.943. But we got to see how the day shakes out. It's very, very early. But I'll be back here midday trading. Okay, and we'll do a little bit more in depth, and we'll see what's happening with natural gas and with crude oil, and then we'll throw something else into the mix. Okay, thanks for watching.